Thank you for joining us this afternoon for Toy Fair 101 Freshman Class. Your moderator for today is Laura Mandrasina, Director of Sales here at the Toy Association. I'm happy to hand the session now over to Laura.
Thank you, Anne, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here today for this very important session all about Toy Fair 2023. We are delighted to welcome you to the show for the first time and to this session where we are going to share with you oodles of information about the event, about getting ready for the event, and everything in between. So, few housekeeping things before we get started. I did want to let you know that this session is being recorded and it will be available on toyfairny.com next week. So if you missed something, don't worry. You could catch it on demand next week. If you want to share it with a colleague, we encourage you to do so. Also, we will be taking question and answers at the end of the presentation. So please, if you look at the bottom of your screen, there is a Q&A button. Please type in your questions there and include your name and company name so that if we need to get back to you after this session, we know how to reach you. So with that, I am going to toss it over to Jackie Retzer, who will get us started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Toy Fair Exhibitor Academy session for our first-time Toy Fair exhibitors. My name is Jackie Retzer, and I'm the Director of Event Management at the Toy Association. I'm about to take you through a lot of information, from the details of your exhibitor kit to some newly launched initiatives tied to the show's fall timeline, and all of the next steps that you need to know as you plan your exhibit space and prepare for Toy Fair 2023. But first, I want to introduce you to the Toy Association's Toy Fair team. Whether you have questions today, next week, or any time between now and the close of show, we are here to provide you answers and guide you along the way. As you look to connect with your audiences, attract the attention of media and buyers, strengthen your business, and experience everything Toy Fair has to offer, we are your team. Joining me live on today's call is your freshman class ambassador and senior account executive, Stacy Liebenson, Toy Fair's account executives, Michael Lynch and Simon Young, Laura Mandrasina, our director of sales, Richard Chow, our senior manager of event operations and technology, and Marin Trask, the senior director of client services and customer care at T3 Expo. While I will be your primary guide for today's gathering, everyone on this call is here to answer your questions, so please use the chat feature if there is anything you would like to ask. We will address all of the questions at the end of the presentation. All right, let's get into it. Toy Fair will be taking place at the Javits Center in New York City from September 30th to October 3rd. Toy Fair is once again poised to serve as a worldwide showcase of what's happening today in the global toy and play industry. Toy Fair provides you the opportunity to develop connections, strengthen strategic partnerships, and ultimately build and grow your business. Toy Fair's new fall timing reflects the industry's new realities and aligns with today's shifting buying cycles and accelerated delivery timelines. A reimagined Toy Fair time also allows you the opportunity to capitalize on everything new this fall by showcasing your in-year priority items for the holiday season to the global media that attend the show, finalizing your spring 2024 launches, and previewing your holiday 2024 products to trusted buyers in private meetings. And while you are showcasing your product, you can expect to see influential buyers, media from around the world, inventors, designers, entertainment executives, students, and more. Toy Fair truly will bring the industry together in one place to buy and sell products, pitch and exchange ideas, meet with partners, reconnect, and reimagine everything. To provide engagement requested by the buying community and to leverage media attention, as the attendees walk through the aisles to discover the latest toys, games, edutainment, and entertainment-driven experiences, Toy Fair's new visual merchandising initiative will provide a more inviting floor plan as a part of Toy Fair's reimagined experience. The show's new visual merchandising initiative requires exhibitors to make product visible in at least 20% of their aisle-facing exhibit space. We do have resources, including an explanatory video of the initiative, to show how you can bring it to life and reimagine your booth space, regardless of size. A few things to note. The Visual Merchandising Initiative applies to each booth space contracted by an exhibitor, and many configurations are possible. Exhibitors can creatively utilize a storefront design, a demonstration area, low or plexi walls, and more to follow the guidelines. All booth designs larger than 400 square feet must be submitted for review and approval by show management, and the deadline to submit is May 1st. Don't forget, if you're not certain of which booth type you have selected or have any other questions, please contact Stacy. If a booth does not adhere to the regulations, you will be required to modify exhibits on site, which can take extra time and be costly. Avoid delays and additional expenses by preparing early. Now, for exhibitors, the Visual Merchandising Initiative encourages more buyer interactions and product engagement, and will help attract attention as attendees search for their next bestseller. From launchpad tabletops to oversized booths, select exhibitors will be rewarded with their standout displays as a part of Toy Fair's first ever exhibit design competition. The Reimagination Awards will be judged by a panel of media, trade show experts, and toy professionals based on creativity, effectiveness, and presentation. Initial judging will occur on site by the end of the first day of the show, Saturday, September 30th. And winners will be announced on the Toy Fair mobile app and LinkedIn and be presented signage for display at their booth on Sunday, October 1st. As you create your exhibit space, make sure that your design fits the criteria that the judges will be looking for as they walk the show floor. More details on the awards program can be found on toyfairny.com. Next, I'm going to get into everything you need to know about your booth space. As an exhibitor, raw space is rented from the Toy Association and marked off by black pipe and drape. Here is an example of what a standard 10 by 10 booth could look like. If your booth is 300 square feet or less, the company sign on the back wall is complimentary. If your booth is 300 square feet or larger, you can order a sign from T3 Expo, along with carpet, tables, chairs, and more, or you can provide your own. The tabletop exhibit spaces receive a 6-foot draped table, 2 chairs, and a wastebasket. Only 10 by 10 booths come with pipe and drape. So if you need furniture, you should order from T3 Expo, or may bring your own. Material handling, also known as drayage charges, will apply. I'm going to dig into the kit and go through how you order some of these items. The Toy Fair Exhibitor Kit provides you with the information and tools you need to build your booth. This is where you can find all of the details and order forms that you need to make your Toy Fair exhibit space a success. You should have already received your Exhibitor Kit email from T3 Expo to sign into your personalized experience and place your orders directly online. The Interactive Exhibitor Kit references all of the important dates and frequently asked questions that you need to know. Within the kit, you will be able to order your furniture, carpet, signs, graphics, and more. Additionally, you will see all of the information you need on how to move in and out of the show. And to make sure you have everything you need, there is also a pre-show and on-site checklist. As a first-time exhibitor, if you are looking for extra ease and convenience, you'll be happy to know that Toy Fair offers a complete turnkey exhibit package. These options provide you with an efficient and one-stop exhibiting experience that is inclusive of graphic headers, track lights, carpet, shelving for your products, material handling, and more. Turnkey packages save you time, hassle, and allow you to move in and out of the show with ease. The details on these can also be found in your exhibitor kit. We all know that deadlines are important, and when it comes to Toy Fair preparation, deadlines are everything. Listed here are the advanced discount deadlines so you can make the most of getting your orders in and saving money. As you review the exhibitor kit and place orders, always feel comfortable reaching out to the T3 Toy Fair customer care team. They will assist with any questions you have. I highly encourage you to make note of these special dates. If you are not planning to use T3 in building your exhibit, remember that you are required to use an approved exhibitor appointed contractor, otherwise known as an EAC, to service your booth if it is larger than 250 square feet. A form for approval will need to be submitted to the Toy Association by August 25th. And remember that EACs cannot provide services for catering, cleaning, electrical, material handling, plumbing, rigging, or telecommunication services. Information about all of these services can be found in your exhibitor kit. If your space is 250 square feet or smaller, you may install and dismantle your own exhibit under a few conditions. The setup of your display must be completed in 30 minutes or less. No tools can be utilized in the assembly or dismantle of your booth. However, there is one exception. You may use a standard box cutter to open up your boxes. And individuals performing the work must be full-time employees of the exhibiting company, over the age of 18, with show badges or setup stickers, and must carry ID verifying their identity and affiliation with the exhibiting company. I also wanted to touch on your shipping options for Toy Fair. As the official Toy Fair material handling contractor, T3 is solely responsible for processing exhibitor freight shipments to the Javits Center. You have two options when shipping your materials to Toy Fair. You can ship to T3's advanced warehouse to save costs, or you can ship directly to show site. We do encourage you to ship to the advanced warehouse to save money and ensure that your materials are accounted for before the show. In your exhibitor kit, you will find all of the information you need on shipment and receipt of exhibit materials, including advanced shipments, direct shipments, hand carry procedures, international freight forwarding, recommended domestic carriers, and the storage and handling of crates and empties. If you decide to hand carry your items to the Javits Center to set up your booth, be sure to read all the rules. They are strictly enforced. When planning to hand carry your materials, you must understand where to drive your vehicle and how much time you will have to park, as well as the necessary registration procedures you and your staff need to follow. To manage the receipt and delivery of all the freight that comes to the Javits Center, Toy Fair uses a Target move-in system. If you are shipping freight to the show, the Target move-in map will help you determine when your target delivery date and time is and when your driver needs to check in. Here are the Target floor plans for level 1 and 3. These can both be found in section 2 of your exhibitor kit. Each different color target zone represents specific move-in dates and times. Each exhibitor is assigned a target freight check-in time for direct freight, as well as a time when freight offloading will begin. Once you are assigned your space, if you have any questions about when you will move in or out, contact T3 or your account executive. Material handling is the management of your exhibit materials between the loading dock to and from the booth area. This means getting your freight to and from your booth during move in and move out, as well as the removal and return of empty containers like crates or boxes that you ship to the show. All material handling is managed by our show contractor, T3 Expo. And regardless of whether you ship to the advanced warehouse or directly to the Javits Center, you will need to complete a material handling form, which can be found in section 2 of your exhibitor kit. Okay, next let's talk about some of the other service providers that will help you with your Toy Fair exhibit plans. Jake, the Javits Center's online ordering system, is where you can go to purchase electrical, technology, and plumbing all in one spot. Jake also allows you to track your orders and submit booth diagrams and paperwork. The Jake how-to video, which is found in your exhibitor kit, provides helpful information about setting up an account, placing orders, and more. The Javits Center Exhibitor Solutions team is also available to assist you. The Javits Center has free Wi-Fi that is suitable for light business, such as simple web browsing and email. But there are upgraded options for larger bandwidths, and the Javits Center Exhibitor Solutions Department is here to help you find the right wireless or wired option. Be sure to place your orders through Jake before the deadline of September 15th to receive the advance rate discount. And remember, only Javits approved labor is allowed to work in the Javits Center. Food and beverage served or distributed during Toy Fair in the Javits Center must be ordered through Cultivated, the exclusive in-house food service supplier. Should you be planning any catering needs, connect with Cultivated by using their online platform or email them directly. You can find a list of their catering menus and services on their website and within the service and utility ordering section of the exhibitor kit. NMR is our audio and video selected vendor, where you can rent equipment like TV screen displays, laptops, and more. All details about what you can order is found in the exhibitor kit, and the deadline for discounted pricing for NMR is September 22nd. Just remember that you do need to order electricity to power this equipment through Javits. Hotel booking is now open, and by booking through OnPeak, Toy Fair's only official hotel program, you are ensuring that you'll get the lowest rates, earn your reward points, and be able to fully manage your group's booking. Plus, when you book through OnPeak, you will not be asked to provide payment at time of booking. There are dozens of hotels in the Toy Fair block. Be mindful that fall in New York City is a destination in itself, so reserve your rooms as early as possible to guarantee you can stay where you feel the most comfortable. So now that you have your booth all set, it's time to make sure that attendees know that you are at Toy Fair. And one of the easiest ways to get noticed is to make sure that your online profile is accurate with your company and product information. Attendees will be logging in to Toy Fair's appointment making tool to view exhibitor profiles and products that will be at the show. The info that you provide lives on Toy Fair's online live floor plan and within the Toy Fair mobile app. This information is how buyers and press will search for exhibitors, product categories, and plan their schedule. Make sure that your information is always up to date so your current and potential partners can find you to make appointments. Another great way to stand out is through one of the many promotional opportunities that are available to exhibitors at the show. Be an industry leader with high-impact promotions that will help increase your booth traffic and initiate a year's worth of business in just 4 days. Power banners, lobby displays, floor decals, and cardboard cutouts are just some of the ways to get serious attention from show attendees on site. To secure a sponsorship for Toy Fair, reach out to Laura today. And Toy Fair 2023 has new opportunities for you to showcase your products in the highly trafficked Crystal Palace and North Concourse lobbies at the Javits Center. These standout showcases are really the perfect place to highlight your product to Toy Fair attendees before they hit the show floor. Toy Fair 2023 will feature a Halloween boulevard for products and experiences unique to the Halloween season, a pet place for toys and accessories for our furry friends, a Hot for Holiday display to create extra buzz just in time for the holiday season, and exclusive for first-timers, a Freshman Connect program to help announce your participation at the show. In addition to sponsorships, we have created numerous tools to elevate your company and product message in front of the top buyers and press attending Toy Fair. The Toy Fair Toolkit is loaded with everything you need to spread the word that you will be at the show, including promotional copy, logos, banner ads, and more. You can start your marketing today by telling your social network and the entire toy industry that you will be showcasing your products this September. You can easily download and share this I'm Exhibiting badge on LinkedIn, along with the hashtag ToyFairLife, and start getting your connections excited to meet you there. Booth staff are the face of your company at Toy Fair. According to a study for the Center for Exhibition Industry Research, 85% of an exhibitor's trade show success depends on booth personnel, so start planning your staffing early. Exhibitor registration is for full-time exhibiting staff only, and exhibitors are not permitted to invite the general public or any suppliers or partners to register as a part of booth staff. You will get an official email when registration is open, and you must register online. There is no on-site registration at Toy Fair. Once registered, you will be able to pick up your badge at Toy Fair starting on Thursday, September 28th. Once you have registered your exhibit booth staff, you can start filling in your calendar for the show. Be sure to look at Map Your Show for requested appointments from buyers. This is also where you can add Toy Fair University educational sessions to your schedule. From the metaverse and manufacturing to sustainability, marketing, and more, The sessions at the show will help keep you on top of industry trends and grow your business. And of course, there will also be after-hour events during Toy Fair Week. Plus, on Friday, September 29th, the morning before the show opens, the Toy Association will host a freshman on-site orientation where you will get a walkthrough of the show floor and meet the show staff on site who are ready to help you make the most of your exhibiting experience. And now that we're talking about being on site, I want to share a few tips for your time at the show. First of all, be sure to smile. Don't hold back. If you are enthusiastic about your product, guaranteed, buyers and media will be too. Pay attention to who is walking by and say hello. Never assume that every buyer will just enter your booth. Invite them in. Limit your screen time at Toy Fair. It is definitely tempting to look down at your phone during the day, but eye contact with buyers and media is key. So be sure to keep your eyes up and open. Please don't sit in your chair for too long. I know it gets tiring to be on your feet all day, so bring comfortable shoes. Believe me, it's worth it. Remember to stay hydrated. If you want to feel your very best and energized, water always helps. And make sure to give your contact information to everyone who stops by your booth. Get their information as well. You want all your potential buyers to have your info at their fingertips when they return to the office. Building relationships take time and effort. And in closing, that was a lot of information, but we know that as we make our way to the fall, there will be updates, news, and important information. So be sure to open your Toy Fair tools emails for exhibitors. This is likely where you learned about this session and is where you will find links to register for future sessions and get the exhibitor kit tools and tips that you need leading up to the show. Please let Stacy know if anyone on your team should receive these emails besides your company's primary contact. And remember that all of this information is also available on toyfairny.com and will be constantly updated leading up to the show. If you haven't asked your question live today, going forward, please remember to reach out to Stacy, your account executive, me, or any member of the Toy Fair team. We are here to help you in any way that we can. Thank you to everyone for participating today. We are so excited to welcome you to Toy Fair.
Thank you, Jackie. I said in the beginning, a lot of information. And as I mentioned, this will be available on demand on the Toy Fair New York website next week. So please keep an eye out. As a reminder, we are going to do some questions now. So if you have a question, please use that Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen so that we can get through some of the questions. I see already a good number, so let's get started. The first is an easy one, and I'm going to go to Stacy for this one. When does exhibitor registration open?
Hi there. A key contact will get the email about the exhibitor registration beginning emails on May 1st.
Okay, simple enough. Okay. The next one, I think, Rich, you're going to be our guy, and it has to do with booth design. Does everyone need to submit a booth design as mentioned in the video earlier?
Hi, everyone. So the Visual Merchandising Initiative, VMI, only applies to booths 400 square feet or larger. So really the oversized booths. In this case, it would be walkthroughs, oversized linears, peninsula, and island booths. I also want to note that if you have multiple booths on the floor, the VMI applies to each booth. So each of those booths would have to apply at least 20% of their square footage aisle facing to visual merchandising.
And Rich, to confirm, this is a specific question. A 20 by 20 booth must submit a booth design for approval, or anything larger than that?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Another question came up about visa letters. So for those of you that are international exhibitors, we do provide letters that can assist you in getting your visa. If you are in need of a letter, please reach out to your account executive. They can assist you in making that happen. So you could see Stacy's information on the screen. Simon Young and Mike Lynch are our other account executives. So please reach out to them for anything related to a visa letter.
Can I jump in also on?
Sure.
So Reg is open for exhibitors on May 1st. So just so you know, that process for a visa letter is also included in that. So if you do require a visa letter after Reg opens on May 1st for exhibitors, you can definitely do it through that. But until then, if you're, if there's urgency, obviously reach out to us and we'll definitely get it to you as soon as possible.
Thank you, Rich.
Mhm.
All right, we have more VMI questions, which is not surprising. This is a new initiative for us, so we know that there are going to be some questions surrounding this. Rich, we showed some visuals, and we, just as a reminder, we do actually have an entire video explaining the visual merchandise initiative that can be found on the Toy Fair New York website. But they're wondering if we have any graphics for smaller booth sizes versus the ones that we've shown. Can you just kind of confirm the booth sizes that are subject to the VMI?
Yeah, so again, just to reiterate, it's basically any booths that are 20 by 20 or larger. I know the graphics that we provided were like, I think 20 by 40 or 20 by 50-ish. If you want examples, you can definitely reach out to us. We'll put some past booths and past designs together for you. We can even get on a call and we'll show you what's been submitted out there and what works. And we can also discuss what they can do with their booth and how we can make it comply with BMI. So definitely reach out to us. We're a resource. We definitely have resources on our end to help you in the whole entire process. Well, we'll walk you through step by step.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rich. Stacy, I'm going to go to you. Where can exhibitors find the exhibitor kit?
Everything you need for Toy Fair, including the exhibitor kit, are on our website. It's www.toyfairny.com. If you go under exhibitor, you'll be able to find the exhibitor kit link there. You'll find the exhibitor kit, the webinars, the hotel, everything you need for the show, and you'll see the drop-down box.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, let's see. Marin, you're in the hot seat. The question is, what exactly is considered booth build out requiring union labor versus setup of display items?
So if the build requires tools to set it up, you're going to need union labor. If you have a display case that you've rented from out of the kit and you are putting your items inside of that display case, you can do that work. But if it requires some sort of building out, I believe you need union labor for that. If you have a back wall construction, you would need union labor. I believe if you send in a pop-up booth, so one of those booths that pops up essentially, and then collapses back down into a little container that you can store or ship around, you can set that up because it again doesn't require tools. So that's really your determining factor there is what it takes to set it up.
Thank you, Marin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Richard, back to you. This goes towards the booth approval that is due by May 1st. This person's asking how much of the design of the booth space needs to be included. Is it images and sketches? What exactly are you looking for?
We just basically want to get a full understanding of what the booth layout looks like, whether it's hand-drawn or professionally renders, diagrams, whatever you can send, just to give us an understanding of how you are planning to allocate that square footage and how it's going to be for visual merchandising, whether it's shelving or display cases or demonstration areas. We just want to understand it. So if you can mark it, you can kind of add a description to us. We'll take anything. And then again, if we have any questions, we'll reach back out to you and we can just, again, have a discussion and just kind of go over what design is just so we can understand it.
Excellent. Okay. Lots of questions, so thank you guys for putting them in the Q&A. We'll just keep going through. Jackie, I'm gonna send this to you. Is there a way to scan booth visitors so that people can know who's coming to visit them?
There is a lead retrieval system. It can be rented via our registration company, CDS, and exhibitors will be able to see it when Reg opens on May 1st.
Excellent. Okay, Stacy, I may throw this at you. how many samples should I ship to the Javits Center for the show?
That's a really good question. I really guess it depends on your budget. Of course, everybody, always likes to grab samples. It's really what you feel comfortable doing. I don't think there's a set number, right, Laura?
No, I think it depends on your booth size, obviously, on how much product you want to bring. If you want to give away products, you have to take that into consideration, how much you want to put on display. So it's very situational, and it really depends on how your booth set is going to be put up, really is what it is. If you want some more advice or are looking for, some examples, please reach out to your account executive and we can help walk you through it, especially if it's your first time at a trade show or a trade show at Javits.
Another idea is sometimes I don't want to just give the giveaways. Sometimes you want to collect business cards and maybe do a drawing once or a couple of times a day. It's a way for you to get excitement at your booth, to get the buyers to come back. And it's also a way for you to gather some, information on the buyers that stop by.
Exactly.
And Laura, if I may, if you do get to show site and you realize that you perhaps over purchased your giveaways and you don't have enough space in your booth, come and visit T3 at one of our service desks and we can give you special stickers and we can fill out a form so we can do what's called accessible storage. So once you give away what you have in your booth and you want more, we can bring those packages back to you and you can essentially refill.
Thank you, Marin.
Mhm.
Okay, there's a couple of questions about booth staffing and how many people should be in the booth and if there's a minimum number and a maximum number. So I'm going to throw it over to Rich first, if you could kind of comment on what the best practices is for that.
I think the general rule of thumb is about, I think we say 2 personnel per 100 square feet. And again, you can rotate your staff, obviously. It is a long and big show. So swapping out personnel, having them get a chance to take a break. But generally speaking, at a given time, we definitely recommend about 2 per 100 square feet. And I think a lot of it applies to, especially a lot of the freshmen here. It just gives us an opportunity for someone to take a break and someone else to do stuff. And vice versa. So that way, one person isn't taking the full load of the show.
Can I interject, Laura? Also, another thing is that it should be for your full-time staff within your company, because we do verify the registration. So it's not for guests, it's really for your staff registration.
Excellent, thank you. Let's see. Thank you guys for so many really good questions. If we don't answer your questions, we are going to have a record of all this. So that's why we asked for your name and company so that we could send you some personal emails after this. Rich, just to confirm, what documents are needed for that May 1st design ship submission?
I will say, usually we get 2 types. We get a diagram, like, overhead view of the booth, and then we get some renderings, right? So we'll take both. We've received some hand-drawn diagrams too. So whatever works. I mean, some people have used professionals with EACs and designers to put it together. Other people have used an Excel spreadsheet to kind of lay out the floor and indicate everything. So we don't need anything fancy. We just need something that's clear and easily understood. But again, if it's not understood or if it's not clear, we will reach out and then we can get into a conversation to go over the booth design.
Great, thank you. Okay, here's one. For companies that are planning on hand carrying booth setup, what's the latest that a booth can be set up and completed? Is it, they said the targeted move-in time seemed to end on Thursday, but what room on Friday is there for this? So can we just go over the targeted moving time a little bit? Rich, I'm going to throw it to you.
Oh, sure. So when you look at the floor plan, basically just where you're on the floor. We give you the booth number and the booth confirmation. You've selected your booth. What you want to do is you want to locate your booth on the floor plan, figure out what color highlighted it is, and then just look at the legend on the bottom. It'll basically tell you when your move-in window is. And if you look, it's the beginning of the window. So that's when you can start setting up your booth, install. You can arrive after that. There's no nothing bad about coming after. So for example, if you have a 10 by 10 booth and it doesn't require a lot of setup, or like, let's say you ordered a booth through T3 and they've already set it up, there's not much for you to do. You can arrive on Friday and set up your booth. That's perfectly fine. It's just the window is important for really the starting time. The way it works is that, the way we move in, we work from the front of the show to the back as we're installing all the booths. And that's why there are those targeted move-in schedule that we follow, because it's a big show and we've got to get everything in order and organized. So the earliest you can set up is at the beginning of your move-in window. If you choose to arrive after that or on another day, like Friday, that's perfectly fine too. But I will say this, if you are planning on arriving especially late, let's say after noon, in the afternoon or Friday, just let the EAEs know. Let your account executive know so that we know. We just want to make sure that we know you're coming. You're just coming later, so we don't mark you as a no-show, or we just want to make sure that everything is okay, or if things aren't okay, what we can do to help accommodate and help you get your booth set up in case there are emergencies or anything like that. So the more information we have, the better it is.
Great, thank you, Rich. Marin, does a basic 10 by 10 booth have half height drapes on the sides, and are there height restrictions of the display?
Yes, so you do have 4-foot side returns on the left and right hand side of your booth, and then an 8-foot high black drape at the back of your booth. There are height restrictions for inline 10 by 10s. Your back wall can only be 8 feet tall. If you were to rent a package booth from us, there are kit options that show some additional hardwall pieces. I know Jackie shared with you one of those options already earlier in this presentation. But if you do want to navigate to the kit or email help@T3Expo, we certainly can help you set up a hardwall package in your booth. But all the rules and regulations are on our community page as well for all inline 10 by 10s and 10 by 20s and all other sizes.
And I also want to jump in on this too. We do have the booth display regulations, booth building and display regulations in section 1 of the exhibitor kit. On there, it'll list every type of booth that we have to show, and it'll basically indicate what you can and can't do and what the height requirements are. Just very quickly, 10 by 10 space. If you're an inline booth, the back 50% of your booth can go up to 8 feet high, and the front 50% of your booth can go up to 4 feet high. Line of sight. But again, there's if you have any questions, if you're not sure, again, reach out to us, and then we'll help address those questions.
Great, thank you both. And I do want to remind everyone that a lot of the answers to these questions is all spelled out in the exhibitor kit. So if you go over to toyfairny.com, click on the exhibit tab, and you'll find that the exhibitor kit is there, and it is just chock full of this kind of information. But again, like Marin said, we are your resource, so please reach out to any of us if there is a specific question about your build, your setup, because we'd rather you arrive on site and be prepared and know how you're going to set up, instead of getting there and moving forward and then finding yourself with a stop job on a union or whatever it is. So please do reach out if you have specific questions. Rich, can we bring our own signs and artwork?
Yeah, you absolutely can. I know for a lot of freshmen, commonly they will bring up pop-up signs, and again, like what Marin had said, the expandable signs are really popular for the back walls. So yes, you're completely permitted. Just make sure you abide by the display regulations. We have this thing called line of sight. If you're not familiar with it, we basically want to keep it fair across the floor, so we don't want one booth blocking the view of another booth. So there are rules to follow. So please, section 1, booth building display regulations, take a look at that and make sure that whatever signage you bring or whatever display you bring is in accordance with the regulations.
Great, thank you. Jackie, we have a registration question. I just want to confirm, how do we get passes for volunteers assisting with the booth? Could you go over the personnel that is allowed to be in the booth?
So it does have to be full-time staff company employees that can register for the show. That's our rule. I'll pass it to Stacy. Did you raise your hand to add anything else, Stace? No, maybe not.
So,
Sorry.
But they also have to be over the age of 18 too. We want
Yes.
to make that super clear. And obviously they, you know, if asked, they should have their IDs and business credentials. But yeah, it has to be full-time employees of the exhibiting company. Now, it's different if you hire an EAC, an exhibitor appointed contractor, and there's a process for that as well. And if you have any questions on that, we can definitely follow up. That can also be found in section 1 of the exhibitor kit.
Okay, Rich, we have another booth submission question. Once a booth is reviewed and approved, is it set in stone or could adjustments be made after an approval?
Absolutely. Just let us know. You know, once we look at it, once we're happy with it, we'll give you the thumbs up, the green light to move forward. But if you do, I'm planning on making any major changes, definitely let us know and we'll review it again.
Great. Someone's asking about the buyers and when they can expect to get a list of the buyers. We just opened buyer registration last week. So, you know, we are very excited and pleased with the response so far, but it's been a week. So give us more time to put that list together. We do send the list post-event to Toy Association member companies only. So if you are not a member company, you have until August 1st to become a member to take advantage of this very valuable list. So please reach out to your account executive. Bernadette is also on the presentation today, who is in the membership department. She can answer membership questions, but it is only available to members of the association. And it is sent after the show. I just want to make sure I reiterate that. Parking. Is there parking at Javits? The short answer is no. There's parking in New York City and it is expensive. So we suggest, obviously, to use public transportation when possible. Maren and Richard, if someone is, you know, driving in and doing a hand carry, what's the best option for parking?
So there are definitely parking garages around the Javits Center. I just want to highlight that. You can just Google map it real quick and see what's available. So there are a lot of them are walkable. But if you are planning to hand carry, there is an inner roadway, and that's all laid out in the exhibitor kit. Again, section 2 of the exhibitor kit, there's a hand carrying guidelines that you can read, and basically it tells you where you can enter in. It's on 11th Avenue. There's a section in front of the North Concourse level 2 of the Javits Center, and you could pull in your car. There's rules that you have to follow, but basically you park, you unload, and then you leave. And there's, you know, a strict time limit. Someone has to be by the car. Just make sure you read all those guidelines. It's managed by the Javits security, the security in the building. So we just want to make sure that you know everything when you arrive. So read that. There is temporary parking for you to unload your vehicle, and then you have to move your vehicle afterwards once you get everything out.
Okay. Okay, here's a question about press at the event. Someone's asking, should they reach out to press prior to the event to set up appointments, or will they reach out to us? Jackie, you can jump in, but you know, any reach out or any appointments you can set prior to being at the show is always going to be advantageous. The press, you know, they have their companies and products that they're looking for when they come to the show. So I don't know if you don't have a relationship, if they will necessarily reach out. But Jackie, you've worked on that side of the world. So how does that typically work with the press?
Sure. If anyone has their own press contacts, certainly make appointments and direct them to register themselves. Our press registration site is going to be open up in May. So no press have been registering yet, but when press register and are approved, similar to buyers, they are directed to create their own online profile in Map Your Show, and they'll contact you through your exhibitor online profile to book appointments. So that Map Your Show online profile, where you're entering your company information and your products, there's also a scheduling tool that you should definitely be looking at, because that's where buyers and press are going to be trying to contact you to set up time to see you at Toy Fair.
Excellent. There's a lot of questions about the 30-minute hand carry rule. And there seems to be a lot of concern that they only have 30 minutes to get there, get set up, and leave. So Maybe Richard, if we can go over those hand carry rules and like how the 30-minute, what that means.
Oh, so, okay, so let me get that. Yes, 30 minutes is really crazy fast. So no, the idea is you have 30 minutes to park your vehicle. That means that you could get your materials from the car into the building, leave it there. That you don't have to. You don't bring it to the booth, set up, and then come back out and get your car. So the hand carrying, the inner roadway is really just to move your materials from your vehicle to your booth. I would say schedule 2 instances for that, one for unloading into your booth location, and then get your car parked, get your car moved into a certain place, and then come back in and install your booth.
Yeah, it does not mean you have to have, you only have 30 minutes to put your
Yeah.
booth together. So we apologize if that was unclear. Related to press reg question, are influencers registering the same way as press? The short answer is yes. They are considered press. They will go through the same registration procedures as press. We do welcome influencers to the show. We understand the importance and the role of influencers with your business and with the industry as a whole. And we did begin a really great program for them to welcome them, make them feel comfortable at the event with a lounge and some activities specific to them. So we do anticipate to have a good number of influencers back again at the 2023 show. So yes. As far as registration regarding full-time employees, what kind of credentials need to be shown when registering and proving an employee's status? Jackie, can you confirm that?
So within registration, and the key contact will receive the email to register all booth staff. Basically, you'll be asked to enter their full name, their title, and their company email address. And that's how we validate and approve exhibitor registrants.
Okay. I think I've gotten to the bottom of the list here. I'm just gonna get up, here we go. I see you have a pet showcase. Do you have a showcase for gaming? We don't have a showcase specific to gaming, but we do have a Hot for Holiday showcase this year. So if you have a gaming product that is going to be on the holiday list for the fourth quarter in 2023, I definitely recommend that showcase to put your product on display. All right. Richard, are there hand carts available at Javits to help move things from vehicle to booth?
No, so that's one of the rules that are part of the Javits Center. You're not allowed to bring hand trucks or dollies to hand carry. Everything has to be carried by hand. The most you're allowed is a 2-wheeled luggage cart, like like a check-in cart you have in the airport when you fly. But otherwise, anything that requires more than that, a dolly, a hand truck, or a cart, at that point you would have to drive your vehicle to the back, unload it as if it were material handling, drayage, and T3 will work with you on that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Here's a question about storage. It said, I saw that storage in the booth is prohibited. What is considered storage? Can we keep our bags, extra samples in drawers, or a special room within our booth?
You can. The main concern is really like boxes, broken down boxes. For some reasons, people like to include broken down boxes, so I guess they could easily pack their products. It's a fire hazard. It's something set forth by the fire regulations of New York City. So when we talk about storage of boxes and cartons, containers, that has to be taken away at the end of move-in. T3 will take it and store it for you and bring it back to you at the end of the show. It's really for fire safety, and in case, God forbid, something were to happen, we don't want to provide any reasons for there to be any unnecessary risk at the show.
And if you do have, extra samples or things that you don't need in the booth, but need access to during the show, we do offer exhibitors an overnight storage option in 2 different areas of the show. I think that information is included in the kit. So, if you don't have room in your booth to store it, and you don't want T3 to take it away till the end of the show, there is an overnight storage option. Okay, here's a question regarding electricity. What is the maximum number of outlets allowed for a single booth? Maren.
Okay. It's like waiting for it, like she's gonna ask me.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there's a maximum number of outlets in your booth space that you can order. All of those orders would go through the Javits electricians. I think they would just recommend a different type of outlet. So whether it's a 5 amp or a 20 amp, it truly depends on what it is that you're trying to accomplish and how much power is going to be drawn. And they can help answer some of those questions for you along the way. But there isn't it's not like 5 for a 10 by 10. You can have as many as you want. But they will start to ask some additional questions the more you order.
Yeah, and then just to add on top of that, so to go where you would go to order electrical services through Javits Center would be jake@javitscenter.com. So Jake, JAKE.javitscenter.com. So that's where you would go, create an account, and then you can select the show, and then just go and look through the offerings that Javits provides for electrical, basically utilities like plumbing and so take a look there.
All right, well, thank you. I'm just scrolling through and I think we hit a lot of the major questions here. A lot of this is included in the exhibitor kit, so I definitely recommend that you go to toyfairny.com, download the exhibitor kit, and just use that as a resource. Obviously, you are more than welcome to reach out to us, your account executive, Rich, Jackie, Mara, and myself. We are all here to help and assist in this before time, so that when you are on site, you can do what you need to do to get ready and have a successful event. So at this point, I think we will go ahead and wrap it up. I'd like to thank all of you for being here with us today, and I'd like to thank all of the panelists that were here today. I know it was a lot of information. And it's big. Toy Fair is big, and we're excited to be back in 2023. And we are really looking forward to welcoming you to Toy Fair. We hope to see all of you at the freshman orientation session scheduled for the morning of September 29th. And I highly encourage you to watch your inbox, read those Toy Fair tools, look out for emails from your account executives. We do send a lot out, but it's all important. And I know it's hard because we all get so many emails, but I really encourage you to, flag those emails that come from the Toy Fair email address, because more than likely we are sending some information that will help you move your planning along and assist you with being successful at the show. So again, thank you all for being here. Please reach out if you need anything, and I wish you all a wonderful day, and we look forward to welcoming you to Toy Fair in New York in September. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.